What is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to this video if you clicked on it. Basically this is my new to me 1990 C4 Corvette. Just want to do a quick rundown of it. I actually have it in the carport tonight. I was going to do some work on it, and then the lighting was so nice in here I haven't really had a good chance to do a kind of walkthrough of this car, so I decided this would be a good chance. Whether you're in a C4 Corvette or you're looking to get one, just figured I'd kind of walk you through some of the things to expect. So first off, I just want to say, on a daily basis, I'm still learning about this car. I've owned it for 6 months now. I bought it in December, and pretty much most of that time it's been sitting because, you know, the winter in the Northeast here, you know, most people store cars like this, so I've taken that opportunity to just kind of focus on what has to be done on the car to get it ready for driving. I ended up finding out that the 1990 is actually like a half year. So if you look at the body, the rear bumper has got this kind of like concave design, and the front bumper, if you look at it, it has a little bit of a like a sharper angle to it. Just the whole nose is sharper. That design was from 84 to 1990, and in 1990 you actually got the interior of all the newer models, so it was cool. It's a half year. The outside looks like the 80s cars and the interior looks like the 90s cars. So yeah, once I found out that the 90 was specific to the newer interior and the older exterior, I honestly, you know, I liked it even more. I don't really like, if you look at the early 80s cars, they're not bad, but they're very straight across. The dash to me doesn't really look too sporty. I mean, it's got a lot of digital stuff going on, which is cool, but this is more driver orientated. It's, you know, it makes you feel like you're driving a sports car when you're sitting in the driver's seat, and I really like that. And I like the older body style C4s. I mean, I think they're all great looking cars, but 91 and up, it's definitely a 90s looking car. And I tend to gravitate more towards like the classic sharper lines of the 80s. If you want to call that classic, I mean, it's a love or hate kind of car. So if you get a 1990, it's going to come with the L98 motor. I think Chevy said they rated this motor at 245 horse and 250 foot-pounds of torque. I'm sorry, 350 foot-pounds of torque. So 245 horse, 350 foot-pounds of torque. If you got the Z51 package, I guess it makes like another 5 horsepower. So that's due to a little bit better flowing exhaust system, supposedly. So you're at 250 horse. You know, when I bought this thing, I kind of expected it to be slow. Like, I bought this as a cruiser and maybe occasional track car. But after driving it with the L98 and the 6-speed bone stock, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I've owned cars that are making 400 wheel horse, and you know, this car still puts a smile on my face every time I drive it and everyone that goes for a ride in it. So right off the rip, I had to put a water pump in this thing. This is like the second or third time running it. As you guys saw in the last video that I did, I put a flow cooler water pump. It had a aftermarket alternator. It said remanufactured on it, and I didn't really like that idea. I actually had another car that had a pretty serious electrical issue because the reman alternator overcharged, and it basically, you know, it cooked a lot of things in the car. So I went ahead, I put an AC Delco alternator in it, new belt. I had to change the brake fluid. This looked like it hadn't been changed since 1990. It was pretty much black. I also had to do the spark plugs, put AC Delco wires on it. Ended up changing the plugs to NGK. They've always had pretty good luck with those. Like I said earlier, tonight I'm actually going to do some work on it. I'm gonna do the cap and the rotor. I should have done that at the same time as the spark plugs, but I don't know, I kind of spaced it out a little bit. As far as the tires, it still had like really old Goodyears on it that were pretty dry rotted and cracked. Since I am planning on doing occasional track days with this car, I went with the NT05 and the 275 4017. And again, this is like a good street and track tire. If you're driving this car every day, you're putting a lot of miles on it, and you're driving in the rain and stuff, I wouldn't really recommend these because of the tread design. But this is going to be strictly a summer car and track car. So moving on to the interior of this car. Let's see. Alright, so it's all in pretty decent condition. I mean, if you look real close at the dashboard, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit here. If you look real close at the dash, you can see, like, you know, it's like lifting a little bit on the edges everywhere. Like right there on the corner, it's lifting. This all kind of has like a little bit of lifted look around the corner, but I mean, that's to be expected. The car's a 1990. This is all black interior, so it takes a lot of heat in the summer. But yeah, this thing's got 37,000 miles on it, so definitely sat a lot, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it keeps the value of the car high, but when a car sits, you can expect to see, I mean, anything from electrical issues to, you know, seals that are all dried out, and I don't know, I mean, the interior is not bad, and that's definitely a plus on this car. But anyways, I just recently put a Toto double din in the car, and that was a huge upgrade because I have a backup camera now, and I have Apple CarPlay, which is nice, which gives me navigation, and I can play Spotify and everything else. So $300, I would definitely recommend this head unit. Plus it fits really nice in here. I had to trim this just a little bit around the edges to get it to fit, but yeah, so I just did that last week, and everything else in here is pretty much stock. Just said, it's got the 6-speed ZF6 transmission, which definitely has a little bit of a dated feel when you're driving it. The shifter throw is a little bit more than what you'd expect in a car today, but I mean, it still feels great. It's a firm shift feel. It doesn't really have a lot of play in the shifter. So, I mean, after driving it for a fean weeks, I kind of didn't even really think about the throw of the shifter. The wheel, I'm probably going to end up changing. I mean, it's not a bad looking wheel and it's comfortable, but with these cars, when you're sitting in them, I mean, I only weigh 145 pounds. You can see how close my legs are to the steering wheel, and I get the seat pretty low and far back, so I'm probably going to end up putting like a 330 or 350 millimeter wheel in here just to give me a little bit more leg room and a little bit more of a like direct steering feel. Steering ratio is on point. This thing's got 13:1 steering ratio. If you get one of these C4s, depending on what you want to do with it, I would highly recommend a Z51 package if you're going to use this car for track use. Easy way to tell, lift up the center console, and you look on your RPO codes. I'm going to see if I can get this to focus. And you can see right here, it says Z51. And the Z51 cars, they all came with stiffer spring rates. They came with like dual cooling fans, power steering cooler, the quick ratio steering rack, 13-inch front brake rotors. You know, of course, if you got the ZF6 6-speed, you have a beefier rear end. This car comes with a Dana 44 with a 3.3 final drive. Alright, so I talked a little bit about the engine, the interior. Just want to do a quick walk around on the outside of this car. On the camera, it looks really mint, but you can tell the paint on this car has definitely been neglected a little bit if you're seeing it with the naked eye. You might be able to see it here. You can see a lot of little scratches in the paint. Kind of see it right there if I zoom in on it. But again, with it being a 1990, it will need a little bit of paint correction. One of the things I noticed when I first looked at this car, the rear seal, where it connects right here in the corner, was like completely separated. So if you looked like right here from an angle, you could actually see straight through to the interior. So I ordered that off of, I believe the website was called Corvette Rubber, and they just make all the rubber seals for the hatch and the target top. I mean, you can get these, you know, these are still cracked. I got to replace that, but did the rear just so that I'm not getting any water leaks in there. Also, while I had it all apart, I put new hatch pistons. So now it pops open like this, which is how it should. And this wing has definitely got to go. When I first looked at this car on the Facebook ad, I didn't notice the angle of this kind of leaning back. It kind of looked like it was more straight with the body line. And now that I'm seeing it in person, that angle is just driving me nuts. It just doesn't look like it really sits on the car right. It is a Greenwood wing, which I've been told by a guy who actually worked at GM back in the 80s. He said they actually used to install these right at the dealer. So at the time when the paint was nice on it, it probably looked halfway decent. And you know, it actually has supports that go from the wing down to the frame underneath to help keep it sturdy. So it's a quality piece. It's just, unfortunately, the paint is all gone on it, and you know, the cracks are actually in the fiberglass itself. So I think it would be more work than what it's worth to try to make this look nice again. So I have another rear bumper that's at the body shop right now, and they're respraying it to color match it. And this bumper and wing is going to completely come off and get swapped out. After that is done, then I'm going to go ahead and do some paint correction on this car. Just do a light cut and buff. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so that's a quick rundown of the C4. I know I didn't really get too detailed with anything, but it kind of gives you a good idea of what these cars are like. Expect to see them anywhere from 5,000 to maybe 12,000. It's a great sports car for the price. I mean, like I said, I've only been driving it 2 weeks. I love it so far. Still have a little bit of tinkering to do on it here and there. So stay tuned for some future videos, some track driving, some working on it, and that's pretty much it for now.